Very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya and these are the headlines. TDP Politburo meeting in Amravati today to take a decision on ties with the NDA. Meeting taking place days after the party pulled out two of its ministers from the BJP-led government at the centre. YSR Congress plans to bring first no-confidence move against the BJP government at the centre. Party needs the support of at least 54 MPs for Lok Sabha Speaker to call for a trust vote in the lower house. Three-day Congress plenary to start in the national capital today, expected to spell out party's stance on having alliances. Outline plans for the 2019 Lok Sabha polls. Will also ratify Rahul Gandhi's election as Congress president. Reaching the unreached through science and technology. This is the theme of the Indian Science Congress, which begins its 105th session in Imphal today. Imphal is hosting this annual event for the first time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate the session. And 21 candidates, including Union Ministers Ravi Shankar Prasad, JP Nadda, Dharmendra Pradhan and Thawar Chand Gehlot elected unopposed to the Rajya Sabha. The biggest story this morning, amid growing differences with the BJP, the TDP Politburo will meet in Amravati today to decide on the future course of action with its alliance with the party. Earlier this month, TDP MPs Ashok Gajapati Raju and Y.S. Chaudhary quit the union cabinet after the centre declined to give special status to Andhra Pradesh. The union government has agreed to a special package for Andhra Pradesh, but not the demand for providing it a special status. Now, the 15-member group headed by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu is the highest decision-making body of the party. Meanwhile, the YSR Congress on Thursday gave a notice for moving a no-confidence motion against the BJP-led NDA after the centre's decision to not grant a special category status to Andhra Pradesh. YSR reached out to various political parties, including the Congress and the left, seeking their support for the no-confidence motion on Thursday. However, the party may find support from the TDP after party president Chandrababu Naidu said that he will support any no-confidence motion against the government in the interest of his state, Andhra Pradesh. The party has given the notice to the Lok Sabha Secretariat for including the motion in today's list of business, but the motion can only be accepted if it has the support of at least 50 members in the House, and YSR Congress has 9 MPs in the Lok Sabha while the TDP has 16 MPs. Now, if accepted, the motion will most certainly be defeated as the BJP is placed comfortably with the 274 members in the 536-member Lok Sabha along with the support of its allies. All right, my colleague Vineet Dikshit is now joining us on the phone line for more details. Vineet, first thing first, now TDP's high decision making is meeting today in Amravati to take a decision on its ties with the NDA today. What are your sources telling you? What is likely to happen?
Well, the motion has, the notice to include the motion of no confidence as moved by YSR already has been put, they have put this into action. They have submitted this application to the Secretariat yesterday, but there are too many shortcomings in that. First thing first, as you have pointed out, it is yet to be signed and countersigned by 50 MPs. But going before that, if you have to reach that stage before you consider that, Finance Bill has been passed 2 days back. Now, the Finance Bill is in fact a money bill, which is the vote of confidence of the House. You have to have a Finance Bill every day, which in effect reassures that the government of the day enjoys vote of confidence, it enjoys majority. And as per the rules, if the vote of confidence, if the Finance Bill has been passed, there cannot be a motion of no confidence for the next 6 months. That is the rule of the law. So, considering all that, it is in effect, in one line, it is a desperate bid to capture the media space by what is happening in Andhra Pradesh, media space being captured at the national level. And most likely, this application to include, the request to include motion of no confidence in today's list of business is most likely to be rejected on, as I said, on two counts. First, it has to be countersigned by 50 MPs.
Yes.
And secondly, just 2 days back, finance bill has been passed.
Yes.
The House has expressed its confidence. You cannot have a motion of no confidence for the next 6 months. Aishwarya?
Right. So what you are essentially saying is that the idea, it seems, is only to, embarrass the government. But speaking about, you're saying that it is most likely if the no confidence motion is even accepted, though it is not possible because there are no numbers here. But the idea is to embarrass the government. But what ramifications this could possibly have ahead of the 2019 Lok Sabha polls?
Well, Andhra Pradesh will go to the polls along with the Lok Sabha polls. Andhra, Odisha and Arunachal, these are the 3 states that went alongside in 2014. And if the elections are scheduled as per the dates, the assembly will go only, the new assembly will be elected in Andhra only next year. Now, these are the times when Andhra is desperately trying, the politics there, to get a special status. That is the politics being played there. Government has already rejected their proposal that as per the Finance Commission, Andhra Pradesh cannot be given a special status category. And it's a desperate bid. TDP has already withdrawn their 2 members of ministers, and they are taking one step by one step slowly, peeling off from the NDA alliance. These are the actions being played in Amravati, and the reverberations are being felt here in Delhi. Aishwarya?
All right. Thank you so much, Vineet, for all those updates there. On to some other news. Well, ahead of polls in some states and the 2019 general elections, now Congress President Rahul Gandhi will present the party's vision and the way forward at its 2-day plenary session that starts today. The session will start with the meeting of the steering committee that will set the tone for the party's poll strategy in the Lok Sabha and state assembly elections, where it seeks to oust the BJP from power. The party is likely to adopt 4 resolutions, 1 each on the political situation, the economic front, and on the foreign affairs, and on agriculture, unemployment, and poverty alleviation. The party will highlight its vision on each sphere and compare it with its current situation. The session is also likely to indicate the party's plans for forging coalitions with like-minded parties ahead of the 2019 general elections. On to some other news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 105th session of the Indian Science Congress in Imphal today. And this year, the focal theme of the annual event is reaching the unreached through science and technology. And the focus will be on use of translational or basic science for promoting affordable, sustainable innovation. Close to 5,000 delegates, including scientists, scholars and researchers, will attend the events. And Nobel laureates from Bangladesh, namely Mohammad Yunus, would be the chief guest at the event. A technology-based startup conclave inviting the top-class innovators and entrepreneurial researchers will also showcase during the 5-day event. And after inaugurating the event, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of the National Sports University, a multi-sports complex, and 19 residential complexes for teachers, doctors and nurses, and will also address the public there. On to the other top story of the day. 7 union ministers, among others, have been elected unopposed to the Rajya Sabha on Thursday. Union ministers Thawar Chand Gehlot and Dharmendra Pradhan have won from Madhya Pradesh. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has won from Bihar. And in MOS for Road Transport and Highways, Mansukh Lal Mandviya, and the MOS for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Purushottam Rupala, have won from Gujarat. Union Minister JP Nadda has been elected from the lone seat in Himachal Pradesh, and Prakash Javadekar has won from Maharashtra. 20 others have also been elected from Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Odisha and Rajasthan. and the contest to the remaining 31 seats will be held on 23rd of March. Let's get you all the news from Parliament. And Lok Sabha on Thursday passed the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill, which will empower the government to fix the period of maternity leave and a tax-free gratuity amount with an executive order. And after the passage of the bill in Rajya Sabha, the government would be able to enhance the ceiling of a tax-free gratuity to 20 lakh rupees for employees. Here are all the details.
The Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill passed by the Lok Sabha on Thursday allows the government to increase the ceiling of tax-free gratuity to 20 lakh rupees from the existing 10 lakh rupees for public sector employees. This change was needed after the implementation of the 7th Central Pay Commission recommendations that increased the ceiling of the gratuity amount for central government employees to 20 lakh rupees. The bill also empowers the central government to notify the gratuity ceiling from time to time without amending the law.
इसलिए ये प्रस्तावित है ग्रेजुटी की अधिकतम सीमा को अधिसूचित करने के लिए केंद्र सरकार को सशक्त बनाने का प्रस्ताव है। और जैसा आपको बताया, इसके अतिरिक्त मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट जो मातृत्व अवकाश जो पहले 12 सप्ताह का था उसको 26 सप्ताह कर दिया गया है।
Another key aspect of the bill is that it notifies the period of maternity leave as part of continuous service. It also allows the central government to fix the leave period above the existing 12 weeks to up to 26 weeks as enhanced by the Maternity Benefit Amendment Act of 2017. At present, formal sector workers with 5 or more years of service are eligible for gratuity after leaving the job or at the time of superannuation. The Payment of Gratuity Act 1972 was enacted to provide to pay gratuity to employees engaged in factories, mines, oil fields, plantations, ports, railway companies, shops or other establishments. The law is applicable to employees who have completed at least 5 years of continuous service in an establishment that has 10 or more people. Ravindra Singh Shoran's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the other bill passed in the Lok Sabha on Thursday was the Specific Relief Amendment Bill. Well, this bill proposes to grant a party the right to seek damages from the other side in case of a breach of business contract and also to reduce the discretion of courts in such matters. Now, experts say that the new law will ease the concerns of consumers facing stalled residential projects.
Lok Sabha passed a bill that proposes to provide remedies to parties whose contractual or civil rights have been violated. The Specific Relief Amendment Bill grants any party the right to seek damages from the other side in case of a breach of business contract. It also seeks to reduce the discretion of courts in such matters. The bill aims to tweak a 54-year-old law that deals with specific fulfillment of a contract as part of the government's ease of doing business policy. In December 2017, the Union Cabinet had approved amendments to the Specific Relief Act of 1963. The bill was passed in Lok Sabha by a voice vote, even as members of different parties created uproar over different issues.
That the Specific Relief Amendment Bill 2018, as introduced in the Lok Sabha, may be taken up for consideration and passing.
A number of amendments moved by RSP's N.K. Premchandran were negated by voice vote. Congress member Jyotiraditya Scindia sought a discussion on the bill, but with continuous protests by different parties, making the prospect of any discussion improbable, the Speaker went ahead with the proceedings for the passage of the bill. Soon after the bill was passed, Speaker Sumitra Mahajan adjourned the House for the day.
The House stands adjourned to meet again.
Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the upper house could not transact any business on Thursday. It was for the 9th day in a row that the members protested over the PNB fraud case and other issues, stalling the proceedings of the House. The members protested despite the discussion on the bank fraud being allowed and also listed on the day's agenda. Even a discussion on the Union Budget 2018-19 could not be taken up due to continuous uproar.
Impasse persisting in the upper house even in the post-lunch session. The Congress and the TMC continued to raise the issue of PNB fraud. The AIADMK and the DMK demanded constitution of the Kaveri Water Management Board, while the TDP and a Congress member demanded special status for Andhra Pradesh. Deputy Chairman P.J. Kurian repeatedly urged the members to allow the House to function and take up the short-duration discussion on reported scams in some public sector banks.
No, this is the time for short duration discussion. Why are you doing this?
As protests continued, he adjourned the House till 3 p.m.
There is notice for short duration discussion. Notice is admitted by Honorable Chairman. Government is ready to reply and the Honorable Member is ready to speak. Then why you are coming to the well and shouting and obstructing the proceedings? I am sorry. House is adjourned up to 3 p.m.
When the members reassembled, disruptions continued unabated. Amid the din, a resolution moved by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to increase the basic custom duty on chickpeas from 40% to 60% was adopted.
Sri Arun Jaitley to move the following resolution, statute resolution. Statute resolution.
I rise to move the resolution mentioned against my name in the revised list of issues today.
The Deputy Chairman again urged members to allow the House to function to take up the crucial discussion on Union Budget 2018-19.
I will have to adjourn the House and the responsibility for not discussing financial bill is on those who are shouting the slogan.
But with no visible resolution in sight, the Deputy Chairman adjourned the House till Friday.
Adjourn for tomorrow.
The productivity of the Lok Sabha in the first half of the budget session in terms of utilization of time stood at 134%, while for the Rajya Sabha, the figure stood at 96%. But disruptions continued on a 9th day in a row in the second half of the budget session. Chairman N. Venkaiah Naidu has already expressed grave concern over frequent disruptions, despite repeated assurances that discussion would be allowed on all the issues under appropriate rules. Reporting from Parliament with camera person Yogesh, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And after the proceedings of the Rajya Sabha were stalled on Thursday, MOS Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal slammed the members for derailing the legislative business. He also urged the opposition members in the Rajya Sabha to participate in the discussion on Union Budget 2018-19. Let's listen in to what the minister had to say.
9th day of repeated disruptions and adjournments. What is the way ahead?
एक सप्ताह से ज़्यादा हो गया है और मैं समझता हूँ सरकार के लिए भी चिंता की बात है और हम सब सांसदों को भी ये सोचने की बात है, चाहे वो किसी भी पार्टी से हों, और सरकार चाहती है कि हर विषय पे चर्चा होनी चाहिए। अब ये चर्चाएं बाहर मीडिया में हों, टीवीज़ के अंदर हों, चैनल्स के ऊपर हों, पर संसद के अंदर ना हो तो अच्छा नहीं लगता है।
But the opposition parties, specifically the Congress and the TMC, are pressing for the discussion under rules that entail voting specifically.
आप ये उनसे पूछिए, जब लोकसभा के अंदर वो 193 के अंदर तैयार हैं और ये जो प्रोरोगेटिव है ये चेयरमैन का है कि किस रूल के अंदर कौन सी डिस्कशन होगी, तो फिर वो डिसाइड करेंगे या चेयरमैन डिसाइड करेगा, पहले कर लें। तो जनता को भी ये बात समझ आनी चाहिए, भी चेयरमैन ने जब एक रूलिंग दी है कि अंडर सो एंड सो रूल इस पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए, चाहे वो 176 हो या कोई और दूसरा हो, तो फिर ये बात अपोजिशन को समझनी चाहिए। जिस समय हम लोग अपोजिशन में थे उस समय भी तो चेयरमैन ही डिसाइड करता था, कोई सारी बातें हमारी थोड़ी मान ली जाती थी। तो इसलिए जाहिर तौर पर यही सबसे बड़ा बहाना है उनके लिए चर्चा को ना करना।
Thank you so much for talking to Rajya Sabha Television. Reporting from Parliament with camera person Manoj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Thursday said that there has been no new developments at the site of the face-off with China in the Doklam sector. In a written reply to a question in the Rajya Sabha, the minister said that the standoff between Indian and Chinese armies in the Doklam area started when the Chinese side tried to alter the status quo by building a road in the area. And responding to a separate question, Minister of State for External Affairs P.K. Singh asserted that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral part of India and this has been conveyed to the Chinese side on several occasions. Singh said that boundary negotiations between Bhutan and China are matters of discussion between those two nations. On India's ties with Bhutan, Singh said that the two neighbours share unique and exemplary ties of friendship and cooperation. And on to some other news now. Air passengers may face tough times ahead as the domestic airlines Indigo and Go Air have decided to cancel more than 600 flights in the month of March after the DGCA grounded 11 aircrafts with faulty engines. The cancellations by the two budget carriers, which operate more than 1,200 flights daily on an average, will cause major problems to the passengers. The airlines have so far not specified about the possible method of compensation and also the alternative travelling choices for the passengers. Now, Indigo, which has the largest share in the domestic aviation market, will be cancelling as many as 488 flights from 15th to 31st of March, whereas Go Air has decided to cancel a total of 138 flights between 15th to 22nd of March. And India has raised the issue of harassment of its diplomats with Pakistan. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Navesh Kumar said that India has lodged a complaint through diplomatic channels and Pakistani authorities must ensure the security of Indian diplomats as per the provisions of the Vienna Convention 1961. He said that India has complained about the harassment of Indian High Commission staff in Pakistan in the past as well. The MEA spokesperson also rejected reports of a recall of Pakistani High Commissioner Sohail Ahmed by Pakistan, calling it a routine affair. He said that India is also looking into the allegations made by Pakistan about their High Commission staff being threatened in India.
You know that our High Commission in Islamabad is facing a litany of issues which have not been resolved for several months. We raise these issues in good faith through diplomatic channels and not through the media. We have asked for immediate resolution of these issues faced by our High Commission in Islamabad so that the safety and security of the diplomatic mission and our diplomatic and consular officials is assured.
Let's get you some more news from across the nation in Nationwide. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Thursday apologized to former Punjab Minister Bikram Singh Majithia for alleging that he was involved in the drug trade. Kejriwal had levelled these allegations during a Punjab election campaign. Now issuing an apology, Arvind Kejriwal said that there should be no politics on this issue. A special Mumbai court on Thursday extended the CBI custody of former PNB DGM Gokulnath Shetty till 17th of March. According to the CBI, Shetty unauthorizedly enhanced the value of foreign letter of credit in the favour of various overseas branches of the Indian banks. The CBI had alleged that the firms controlled by Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi obtained fraudulent LOUs and letters of credit worth 13,000 crore rupees from PNB in connivance with some officials of the bank. And the toll in the fire at Kurangani Forest in the district has risen to 14, with 3 more victims succumbing to injuries at various hospitals in Madurai. Of the 14 killed in the fire, 10 are women. The police have registered a case against the owner of the Chennai-based trekking club, which arranged the trekking expedition to the hills. And President Ramnath Kovind wrapped up his 5-day tour of Mauritius and Madagascar on Thursday. During his stay in Port Louis, he was the chief guest at the 50th year celebration of Mauritian Independence Day. He also witnessed an exchange of agreements in the field of health, education, culture and civil services. President also inaugurated the World Hindi Secretariat and also laid the foundation stone of an ENT hospital there. Both the centres are financed by India. India also announced a line of credit of $100 million for defence procurement to help its security capacity. India also agreed to sell a multi-purpose offshore petrol vessel to the island nation of Mauritius. And in Madagascar, agreements and MOUs were signed in the fields of defence and air services. Kovind also inaugurated the Centre for Geoinformatics application in the rural development, which is also fully financed by India. The President, with his Madagascar counterpart, also co-chaired a business forum where he urged the entrepreneurs to become partners in India's fast growth trajectory and help develop Madagascar. President Kovind was also decorated with the Star Cross, which is the highest civilian honour given to a foreign dignitary. He was given a very warm welcome by the teachers and the students of the Madagascar University as well. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday expressed optimism about the growth potential of the real estate sector. He was addressing the annual conclave of the Confederation of Real Estate Developers Associations of India. The Vice President also referred to the repeated adjournments in House due to the opposition protests in his speech.
Disruptions in Parliament weighed heavy on the Vice President's mind as he addressed the annual conclave of Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India. He said that as chairman of Rajya Sabha, he has agreed for a debate on the PNB fraud in the House, but the discussion has not been able to take place due to disruptions.
There is no meaning in finding fault. उनका जमाना में हुआ, हमारा जमाना में नहीं हुआ. वो कहेंगे आपका जमाना में हुआ, आपका परसेंटेज इतना है, हमारा परसेंटेज इतना है. इसमें कोई फायदा है नहीं. I hope that the Parliament functions and then there is a meaningful, constructive debate. Why does the fault rise? The issue is not this regime or that regime. The issue is of people losing confidence in the system.
Turning his focus to the real estate sector, the Vice President underscored the role of private sector real estate developers in the housing schemes being run by the government. He said there is a need to provide affordable housing to the middle class and the government is promoting low-cost housing projects.
Rapid urbanization coupled with the migration from rural areas has led to a massive housing shortage. It is estimated that currently there is a shortage of 19 million housing units in India, with 96% of those affected by the paucity of belonging to economically weaker sections.
The Vice President said that the realty sector is showing signs of revival, which is good for the economy. He also said that bringing transparency in the real estate sector will lead to further growth. Mohammad Fateh Tipu's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
A top international focus now. The United States has imposed sanctions on 19 Russians, accusing them of interference in the 2016 US election and also alleged cyber attacks. Now, the individuals that have been targeted include 13 who have been indicted last month by Special Counsel Robert Mueller for interfering in the 2016 US election, and 5 entities include the Russian Military Intelligence Agency GRU, and they've been targeted in Thursday's sanctions. The measures are being described in Washington as the strongest action taken by the Trump administration so far against Moscow. Treasury Secretary also has accused the Russians of destructive cyber attacks and intrusions targeting critical infrastructure. He said that the sanctions would target ongoing nefarious attacks by Russia. Meanwhile, Russia says that it has already begun drawing up countermeasures.
I think that's something that Russia is going to have to make that determination. They're going to have to decide whether or not they want to be a good actor or a bad actor. I think you can see from the actions that we've taken up until this point, we're going to be tough on Russia until they decide to change their behavior.
Sports action now, and ace Indian badminton player PV Sindhu and HS Prannoy have entered the quarterfinals of the Yonex All England Open 2018 in Birmingham. The 4th-seeded Sindhu defeated Nichapong in the Pole of Thailand 21-13, 13-21, 21-18 in the women's singles event. She will now face Nozomi Okuhara in the quarterfinals. And in the men's singles, HS Prannoy beat Tommy Sigward of Indonesia in straight sets to enter the last 8 stage. Prannoy will now face Huang Yuan of China. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.